If we had any significant spread at all, we'd immediately stop, and what we'd try to do is to track and determine where they're coming from. Adam Silver on playing in the NBA bubble. The commissioner's words are the new reality in the NBA. It's scary, depressing, and frustrating, and not just for the players and fans, but also for each organization that must endure this new normal. Now, what are the old normal problems for organizations? Fans don't feel heard or misunderstood. Teams making bad deals and trading away popular players. No star power. In-person experience doesn't match fans' ideal way to consume a game. Teams fail to engage fans consistently. Teams lacking an emotional connection with the fans. The team's record is terrible. Or the prices are just too high. These are problems as to why sports teams lose revenue and need as many fans in the stands to make more money. Now, not all the problems above apply to every team. All teams are very different, of course. However, those are your typical ways of how teams lose revenue by not getting enough fans to come to the game. This year is different though. A never-before-seen pandemic sent shockwaves throughout the entire world of sports and the globe, and it's safe to say that things just haven't been the same. So, to add to the list above, pandemics can alter how many, if any at all, can attend live games. This is damaging to teams that make most of their profit on putting fans in the stands. Sure, this has hit all organizations. But not all just opened up their own stadium in a new city, like the Warriors. But before we jump in, please remember that if you've enjoyed the video thus far and can't wait to hear why the Golden State Warriors and the NBA need fans back to pay off the stadium and to stop the bleeding loss of revenue, please remember to hit the like and subscribe button and make sure to tell your friends and family about the journey we are about to embark on. Now, let's dive in a bit deeper. Like any championship team, the Warriors have grown not only as a winning team on the court, but as a winning and lucrative franchise off the court. Being in the epicenter of the tech universe, the Golden State Warriors have not only capitalized on fans who can pay large amounts of money to come see a game, but they also had a team to back up and substantiate their bloated ticket and merchandising prices. This is exactly why they wanted to move, and then successfully moved the team across the bay to San Francisco. Their stadium opened at the beginning of this season, pre-pandemic, and placed them in a brand new state-of-the-art facility for everyone to enjoy. I remember vividly watching a TNT pre-game show at the beginning of the season, where they were outside of the new arena, helping the Warriors celebrate their new digs, and were showing off the world-class chefs that had been putting together the food that they were selling inside. It was quite high class and impressive. But unfortunately, this has been unable to be sustained without any fans in the seats. So herein lies the dilemma. How will the Warriors pay for their new home without the help of their loyal fans in the stands? Well, there are sometimes advantages to having expensive toys to play with. What that means is that where certain people see doom, the Warriors are seeing stability and leverage. Teams make up most of their revenue via ticket sales, sponsorship opportunities, marketing your sponsors in-house, and having other companies' names sprawled all over your arena for constant publicity. But fortunately, the Warriors don't need to rely on solely that because they are well positioned with money. That's because they can borrow $250 million against the new home. So they aren't really losing money, they are strategically surviving until we can have fans back in the arena, which might be the start of the next season. Fingers crossed. Always an eternal optimist. Not all teams are as fortunate as the asset-filled Warriors, which makes their situation tolerable. Now, the other part of the Warriors' situation is that they may not even have to use their line of credit. They can do it to be prepared and just in case anything turns for the worse, but they are not dependent on that. If another team, say for instance, were in this situation, they may not be able to survive and would have to immediately tap into their credit line because they don't have the financial backing, assets, nor savvy of the owners of the Warriors. Another reason the Warriors can survive this temporary downturn is because they aren't afraid to make trades, like trading draft picks and players to take on big contracts of other players. They still have that fire and desire to be atop the NBA world again, and will not hesitate to get there even if they add more salary to their already healthy overall team salary. We all have suspicions about what direction they will go and how they will utilize their draft picks and trade options, and even though there will be hurdles in the way, such as having to worry about paying for their new home, they will clear those challenges because they have the comfort of their line of credit and the already healthy foundation they sit on for their finances. So what this all means is that they will pull the trigger on big salary deals, whereas other teams may not, because of the current situation. Now let's look on the other side of the coin. Just because they can sustain the hit, where does that leave them long term? Because let's not get insane, they still need to pay for everything at some point. If they can't get fans in the arena at full capacity into the next season, they may not be able to sustain any deals they pull off at draft time. Hypothetically, say things turn for the worst, and fans aren't even thought of for next season. And on top of that, they just took on a giant salary for a big name they wanted. Can they sustain paying their overall salary for the long term? They would have to cut ties with some, or let some walk for free agency. Either way you slice the pie, not one, not even the Warriors are in a great situation because of the new normal we live in. But some, like the Warriors, can temporarily withstand the loss of revenue with no fans. But at what cost? Only time will tell, but until then, one thing will always be constant. The team in San Francisco has a new stadium to pay for, and until things with the pandemic are over and safe, this will always be an issue for them.